Central Station, at the heart of Glasgow for 140 years. Meet the people who make the station work. Running over 950 trains a day for 32 million passengers a year.
Every day there's always some challenges. I've got good optimism every day. You have to have as a station manager.
There's one thing I hate is an unhappy passenger.
It's supposed to look like it's going to look clockwork. That's because we're really good at it.
Guys, you get through the wide gate over there, please. Thank you. Organised chaos. But we make it work.
Central to Glasgow. That's Glasgow Central.
I'm ready for my close-up now, Mr. Commute.
No job's too big or small.
So Monday is pigeon check day. I'm going to count pigeons.
Day and night for one long summer, we follow the people working all hours to keep the station on track. This time on Inside Central Station. Cancellations test the patience of passengers.
I'm pretty frustrated and worried whether I'll get home tonight.
There's a special guest on the sleeper.
Kirsty Work is one of the regulars. When I started, she was on, and 14 years later, she's still here. And I'm still here.
And a mystery is uncovered.
There was rumours that there was Banksies in here. In 2007, somebody painted over it.
On the station's main concourse, the countdown to the evening rush hour has begun.
ScotRail duty manager, Derek speaking. I hope so. I think the driver's heading up the now there, John, because she shouldn't be in a minute now. John, see where you're on. I'm looking for a 1631 large service.
Passengers are now gathering,
Right, OK.
but the trains are not where they're supposed to be.
Right, OK. Have you spoke to ScotRail service or TCS? Concourse is quite busy though, John. I'm always in the concourse, and if there is disruption, we make it clear to passengers that don't panic, we'll be here the whole time.
Comms, Katie.
High above the concourse is the comms room, where the news of disruptions is passed on to the station staff.
One of the trains did something to the overhead lines, which has brought part of it down. We can have a look and see, right, what services are going to be affected and how it's going to impact the station. Hello, can I help you?
An overhead line snapped an hour ago, stopping some trains from getting in and out of the station. Now the line is fixed, there's a backlog of trains and drivers in the wrong place.
So I need to deal with a lot of different departments just to get a train to run. Control needs to sign off, the train crew supervisor, Network Rail comms need to confirm. So we need to make sure the platforms, the dispatchers, the supervisors are all in place so we can get these things moving, all for one train. ScotRail 3 to ScotRail 12. Who's dealing with the 28 air service? How's it looking? You could have a possibility during peak time 1,000 passengers changing platform. So the logistics becomes very complicated, and all it takes to break that down is one of these people not to pass a message on. Now it can't be like Chinese whispers, it needs to be accurate. ScotRail 3 to any staff member dealing with 28 air service. Steve. Go ahead, Katie. Number 1131 Lars, thanks pal.
Just to let you know, they said they've got drivers for the 1600 and 1604 air, in case you didn't know. Because of the disruption, trains aren't where they should be. Some trains are cancelled coming in, so they need to kind of move trains around so that they can still have as much of the service going as possible.
I'd rather keep them in case this goes right through the peak time, John, and now I'll just run the 1713, and I'll use maybe one of them for the excess of the 13. You know what I mean?
With delays piling up, some services are dropped so the staff can get everything back on schedule quicker.
Jackie, see who's dealing with that air service? Who's, you know, a wee shout. Jackie's my sidekick. She'll make sure the dispatchers are in place so we get the sets and the drivers there. If you've got a good team partner, you know, it makes it all the better because you bounce off each other.
Alec, what you on?
Just keeping in contact with control, TCS, making sure we have a driver for the sets to start running back to normal.
Why is everybody converging here?
The team are working hard to get trains back on. But a lack of information can be frustrating for passengers.
But I'm really sorry. We're trying to deal with it just now to see if we can get a set for it because we don't actually have a train for it, okay? There's problems earlier on a different line.
No, listen, I realise that there's trains all over the place, but East Kilbride always runs.
They just want to get home. They don't understand the complexities of trains. They want to know what I'm doing to get them home. So it makes things really interesting, to say the least. Just because East Kilbride's get cancelled.
So is that a Ford just now that's running at East Kilbride?
The 17:30 will be a Ford car. Okay, just need to watch the platform, pal. Right, tell me to phone me back ASAP, will you, because it's getting really busy down here, pal. All right? Cheers, mate, bye-bye. They've just cancelled the Kilmarnock. This is the Kilmarnock crowd. I'm going to try and see if we get that reinstated. Let's go on L3 to base, Kate.
That's not going to happen. Empties to Kelly with platform 5.
Unfortunately, the Kilmarnock train needs to stay put.
Control did try and get the move done. It's just the signal's too busy to get the move put through, so that doesn't help the station because we get sit with 400 people at our back trying to get home.
But there is some good news. At least one train is back up and running.
Tell them they're still going to run this 1701 East Kilbride. That's us, we're okay, Katie, thanks. That's us. 17-minute delay in an East Kilbride. Right, back to the main concourse, folks, and see what's happening.
For me, it's one of the most evocative places in Glasgow. I absolutely love it. You know, just that whole grandeur, that idea of travelling south and north on this great direct train route is phenomenal.
Journalist Kirsty Wark is making her weekly early morning trip to London, a journey she's been doing for 25 years.
This is my kind of regular place to be one early morning during the week, whether I'm doing news night on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. My father used to do this commute for years. He lived in Kilmarnock, worked in Glasgow, and he would do the same kind of idea of coming through the station. There's a feeling of anticipation. I always get that when I go to news night anyway, because I kind of never know what the evening will hold. I'm going to get on the train this morning, do a bit of writing, do a bit of looking out the window, and then I'm going to work all day. The joy is that I know that this time tomorrow morning, I'll be coming back off the sleeper, through the station and home.
Oh, I've left Glasgow Central Station at least 4, possibly 5,000 times.
Norrie has been a train driver for 17 years.
It's a fantastic job, the best job in the world. My favourite has to be early morning in the winter. It's been maybe a clear night, maybe a wee bit of mist hanging about. You start driving, the sun comes up, and it's picture postcard scenery. The top speed of this train is 125 miles per hour. To stop the train, it would take over a mile in an emergency. There used to be, in the old trains, a dead man's pedal, and it's been enhanced from that. So the beeps you hear is a vigilance system which It's basically asking me if I'm still here. I have to release the pedal, press it back down again, and if I don't do that, the emergency brakes come on and the train stops, and hopefully somebody will come and help me. Not very easy to get into the job. That one of the criteria I look for in train drivers is somebody that can maintain concentration after possibly long periods of not much happening. You can go for miles and not much happening, and then all of a sudden there'll be a line side obstruction. Don't forget, obviously, you have a lot of passengers behind you, and you have to make sure that they're safe as well.
Train driving is a specialised job. And what better place to learn than the station's very own train simulator?
Now, there's a pedal at your feet, Kieran.
Yeah.
You will need to keep your foot on that pedal. That's your DSD pedal.
Right.
Okay.
It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. I didn't expect an actual huge screen there.
Yep, this is what a driver sees.
Instructor Alan is showing 16-year-old Kieran, who's on work experience from school, what it takes to be a train driver.
It's a lot more advanced, the simulator, than I thought it would be.
This is the real 334 cab. So everything that's in here is in a real train. So there's a wee station up here. And as you're going on here, you're looking ahead, you're making sure that there's nobody maybe standing too close to the edge. You're monitoring all these things as you go in. The simulator is part of a driver's rules. We run certain scenarios and we watch and we just make sure that they're meeting the criteria. And there you go, that's you now opening the doors. You watch your people getting off and you watch them getting on. What the public don't see with train drivers is the total concentration. They'll go through a platform and see their face and it doesn't look as if they're doing very much, but they're looking at signals, they're looking at speed restrictions, they're looking at diagrams. They've got to focus on so many things at the one time. Right, so we'll take it up to about 40 miles per hour. And that'll give you a wee chance to get a bit of speed up, Kieran.
Right.
That's fine. Okay, Kieran, so well done. You've got the makings. See you down here.
Right.
In a couple of years' time, how does that sound?
That sounds great.
More than welcome. Well, a lot of people, I suppose, want to be a train driver from a young age. Other people, they maybe see a career in the railway and they'll come into the railway and they'll possibly start maybe in like, tickets, gate line, conductor, whatever, and they just wait. And when an opportunity comes up, they move into the driving. But at that time, we'll have a kind of rough idea of what the job actually is.
Feels sweet.
For Kieran, work experience at the station is about more than just driving trains.
I thought work experience in Glasgow Central would be quite fun. You know, I could actually help tons of people, you know, get on their way on the railway system. My parents do nothing railway related, so this is sort of like a first in the family. I'm just checking the sheet to make sure we know where the passengers are, when to get them, what special requirements they need. So, you know, for instance, it could be like mobility impaired, they need a ramp, you know, stuff like that. This is the train. I just need to try to collect the passenger. I don't think they're on a wheelchair or anything. So we just need to try to find them. Right. Right, I'll take it back. Right, mind if I just put this down? No. Thank you. No room for me. That's fine. I've never done anything like this. All right. You know, it's nothing compared to skill when you're just like writing down like answers and, you know, it's actually doing something that will impact people on their day-to-day journey. I find it quite, you know, yes, I find it quite fun. It's better than staying at school just sitting on a desk, really. I think on Monday a couple of my friends will be quite, yeah, we'll be able to do that, yeah. I'm not sure if they'll be jealous. I think they're going to be surprised.
walked into the midst of it all, hundreds of passengers, not knowing what was going on.
Virgin dispatcher Lee has started her shift, but it's been over an hour since any trains have arrived.
There had been a line-side fire, there had been points failures, so the 2 previous trains was cancelled.
A London train has finally arrived, but there are 3 trainloads of passengers eager to board.
It is our passenger announcement. The delayed 1600 to London Euston will now be boarding platform number 1.
Each first class, is that full? 1 minute.
Lee has found a passenger who has missed his place in the queue.
I was booked on the 1600.
Right, OK. It was a very busy train.
So you wouldn't let me on.
It would be really uncomfortable to have travelled on it.
The trouble is, I'm so old. I got here at 20 to 4, sat down, saw it was delayed.
Yeah.
And I didn't get up to join the queue until you announced that it was boarding.
Where are we going?
I got a complicated journey.
Right.
The queue went right out of the station and up the street. I joined the end of the queue, and when I got to here in the queue, they said that the train that was now departing 3/4 of an hour late was full, and I couldn't get on it. So I'm pretty frustrated and worried whether I'll get home tonight.
Even if you miss your connection, they'll just get you on the next connection. If for any reason, obviously all your trains, if I've ended with a connection, they'll get you onward transport. So don't worry about getting to your destination, you will get there.
As the next train arrives, Lee and the team try to speed things up.
Whenever the trains run late, as many staff as you can go on and help clean. Just means that the train can be turned over so much quicker. What coach you looking for? C or U? C's got a food bar. In here, in here. C or U for the unreserved?
Last.
Just go up as quick as you can to get to the first class. They're away, thankfully, but now we've kind of picked up, so all our trains now will roughly go on time, so I'm hoping for a calmer shift tonight.
And I think in many ways, unfortunately, the US president didn't stand up to Putin when he had the chance. And I think that doesn't look good.
Thank you both very much indeed. Well, that's it. We leave you in Paris, where they're throwing the biggest party ever. Good night.
God, it was a busy programme tonight.
After a long day at the BBC studios in London, Kirsty is on her way home.
Straight up and right onto Euston Road as usual. Big drama on Brexit tonight. Government made it through with 3 votes. And then you're going first left after the bus stop to go round the back.
Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.
The London to Scotland sleeper sets off just before midnight every night on a 7-hour journey north.
Lost a sheet. I think you're in Jai.
Jai number 6.
Jai number 6, yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Good. It was all happening at the last minute. But it didn't matter, because it just felt like things were on the move. Okay, bye. I think we kind of managed to get to Euston in record time tonight. So I've had a good 10 minutes sitting with a glass of whiskey. I've got this paper here, and I'm about to wave Euston goodbye. Some nights I just go straight to bed, but some nights it's nice to have a whiskey. I hopefully don't fall into bad company and be sitting at 2 in the morning, which is not a good idea.
Sometimes I think people come on thinking it's going to be a party train because they think they can stay up to 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. but they forget that they've got to get up to get off the train, get their breakfast and get off the train.
What kind of fish you got?
I have got plain salt and vinegar, cheese and onion or haggis.
Cheese and onion bit.
Cheese and onion, just the one. We have got the regulars, and Kirsty Work is one of the regulars. When I started, she was on, and 14 years later, she's still here. And I'm still here. She likes the surprises. It's her whisky choices she changes. Because when she comes in, you get it ready for her, and she says, no, I don't want that tonight.
The Sleeper used to be the place on a Thursday night where you'd meet every politician, because there was always a late vote on a Thursday. Everybody got on the train, and there was a great political chat, and great political chat among different members of different parties. And that was always good, but that stopped when they stopped having late votes on a Thursday night.
For executives travelling north, there are fast sleeper trains every night between London and the Highlands.
This is an old train. I was talking to an engineer or something last night, and he was saying that the trains have been going since 1940, and some of them are still going now. So that is an era.
A good dinner, a good night's rest, and in the morning you'll be there. No working time wasted.
I have been in Newsnight for 25 years, so that means I've been travelling on the Sleeper for 25 years. The same Sleeper. My goodness, we are getting a new Sleeper, and it will be modern. It will not have carpet going up the walls.
Carpet in the walls, do you know what I mean? You can't get that anywhere else. Could you set that tray up for the morning for a breakfast, please?
The staff on board are lovely, charming, will do anything for you. When people drink a lot, they have to deal with very tricky people.
Okay.
But they've all been doing it for years and they know everything. They put people to bed.
My first trip, I thought, what the hell am I doing? At 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like that, oh my God, I don't think I'm going to be able to stay up all night. But you get used to it. I was in an office for 18 years, and I couldn't go back. I really couldn't go back. I loved this. So
Nancy, this is going to...
Thank you.
Got it? K1, thank you. This morning we're full in both coaches today, so I've got 12 first class to cook in a window of about 30 minutes, so it's quite stressful sometimes, but we get it done. At the moment I'm cooking a Highland breakfast, which consists of black pudding, sausage, Ayrshire bacon, tomatoes and mushrooms. It can be quite difficult at times, but if you're pretty organised, it's okay.
Come on in.
When we arrive at Castairs, the Edinburgh and the Glasgow portions, they separate.
And the Edinburgh train goes that way and we go that way, but the power's got to go off until the train splits.
So that can be quite challenging. I'm just making the Scottish salmon and scrambled egg at the moment. So that'll be us coming into Castairs. So this is us just hitting one of those neutral stages I was telling you, so the power goes off. So that'll come back on in a wee minute. So that's for K6, Miss Work.
G6.
it's going to be a beautiful day. I think we must be coming through campus line. There is something about coming home. It's great. Seeing everybody bustling about the station in the morning. The whole thing about stations is they're always a place of leavings or arrivings, you know, saying goodbye or saying hello. And that in itself engenders huge amounts of memories for people. Particularly for me in Central Station because of, you know, people who went to war, people who came back, people who didn't come back. I don't think I was ever away. That's great. 24 hours later, home.
Technical issue.
The Central Station roof has around 2 square miles of glass, and sometimes it needs a few repairs.
We're up to carry out a repair today on one of the ridge pieces, which is that piece of the roof, the metal at the top. It's blew off with the high winds.
The station's resident maintenance team are Kev, Stevie and Davey. They've worked together for 16 years and are tasked with fixing anything and everything in the building.
How many panes of glass is on the roof?
73. Over 73. Wait a minute, I'll Google it. Give me half an hour, I'll count it for you.
Kevin's Googled it, how many panels.
The sources. There's 48,000 panes of glass.
Is the ridge down your side? In the next valley.
The ridge is the highest point of the roof which joins 2 sections of glass.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
Without any radio to listen to, the team have to make their own music.
We're not allowed radios.
Not allowed radios.
In case we don't hear trains and stuff.
There's a hole in your bucket. But your singing's brilliant anyway.
Not as good as yours. I just dragged myself, so I did.
What are you going there? I need to go by, to go under. What? Eh? You're not going to go so far with that, mind.
Because you hit the glass?
We've never done it yet. Don't tempt fate.
But no tell MD.
The roof is fixed within the hour. Job done.
What one? What one? Bob the Builder?
Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder.
I came from a small village out in Lanarkshire, and there was a wee boy, and I came in here to Glasgow Central, and I thought it was a city with a glass roof on it. And the Central Station itself was, we were astounded with the size of the buildings and whatnot. We thought these were skyscrapers. I'm 70 past now, I'm nearly 71.
Platform 2.
That's 2. I was a conductor with ScotRail, and I was a conductor with Transpennine, and then I retired, and then I came back a couple of years later to just do this wee job.
Robert has to get the train clean and tidy before it can leave.
A quick litter pick, as quick as I can. When I retired, I'd say I had too much time in my hands. Play bowls, play bagpipes. Sitting about the house watching television and that, this wasn't my scene at all. Very good, so far so good. And as well as that, you're going through money. You want to have the same lifestyle as you do when you're employed. The train's not too busy. There's certain ones, trolley hosts, for example, and sometimes even the conductors. They'll start the job for me. How you doing, mate? Thanks very much. You gave me a good start, thank you. Thanks, mate, thank you. I've never been unemployed. I've always been working for I was a boy. I was in engineering when I was a young man, with thousands and thousands employed in manufacture in the days. But as the years has rolled on, places were closing down, and the job in the railway just was absolutely perfect for me at my age. That's a litter more or less out the road. I'll just start my tickets just now.
We're all right.
Danny is the youngest cleaner on the Virgin train team.
My dad's worked here for maybe 15 and 20 years, so he kind of does the same as me, cleans the train. So I had a faint idea that I'd end up here, but I didn't think I'd be here so long. I think sometimes they try and hide them in the hardest position for us.
Today's train has a shorter than usual turnaround, only 30 minutes.
It's an easy enough job, if you will. It's more about the timings and making sure you follow all the procedures. These wee nets are probably the bane of the job, to be honest, because they're so tight. Small things like salt and pepper sachets, everybody uses them, so they're all over the place, but it does certainly make you a lot more mindful when you're making a mess in places. You do get certain ones that don't really care, if you know what I mean. They just let the kids run riot. So you find stickers all over the tables, and the kids think they're decorating, but you've then got to stand for 10 minutes and try and scrape these off.
Yes, I think I see it. No. Is it? It's not ours, no. Still not ours.
Robert's next train is delayed.
Yes, we're pushed for time, of course. Still try to get it out for 5 past, but I mean, I'll try and fly through it. The criteria is to try and get a train out on time. That's the aim, to get it out on time, but to have it prepared. It's not ours. It's not the TRSMT, no. No. Now, because we've got limited time, Mark, being a nice guy, says he'll help me out.
We're going to chip in Glasgow to help each other out.
Oh, yeah, that's what we call teamwork.
So I don't think he looks like Lily Savage. It does, doesn't he? Lily Savage.
Excuse me, please. Hello, how are you? My week goes by like that, and then I'm back at work again for the weekend, seeing my old colleagues. I think the only thing that will make me stop working is if I can't walk anymore. As long as I'm able to walk, I'll come in. A couple of minutes just a couple of minutes. We're nearly there.
This is the late running 17:10 service due to the hot weather conditions.
Thank you, pal. See you later. 11, 12 minutes. No, about 11 minutes. So, there we go.
But he does look like Lily Savage.
It's probably a little bit like being in a greenhouse that's got a sauna inside it. Pretty hot, and I'm sure I'm not the only person in here that feels that way at this moment in time. Today we've got a Transmit Festival on at Glasgow Green.
TRSMT is one of Scotland's biggest music festivals, which means the British Transport Police are out in force.
It's quite a busy day for us. Probably several thousand people coming through. Sunshine and alcohol. What did I say to you?
We've got a TRSMT! Woo! We've got TRSMT.
TRSMT?
Oh, it's roasting. Jerry Cinnamon. Liam Gallagher.
Just Jerry Cinnamon. Nobody else.
Hey guys, enjoy.
Officer Wiley is on the lookout for drinkers.
How you doing, guys? Who's going to pass it forward they can? I'm not going to no see it. All right. Aye, off I can. Good, June. See you later, guys. You can't drink in here. You can't drink the streets of Glasgow, but the drinks bylaw kicks in at 9 o'clock for trains. But up until then, I think what we're probably going to see is a lot of excess alcohol. Loads of people going through for TRSMT.
One's been in with the tickets, squeezing through, some people away. It's just...
All right, we'll check the other barriers, but if you need us, give us a shout.
Once the concourse has been cleared of alcohol, Officer Wiley heads to the station toilets.
Most people, when you explain to them the rationale why we're taking it off them, are more than happy. Glad we established it wasn't a pub there, ladies. Thanks very much. I say happy with it, but shouldn't need to tell you 3 times. Today, I think I've probably lost count of just how much alcohol I've took off you people. It's been everything from buckfast to dragon soup to rosé wine. Righty.
A call has come in about an incident aboard a train.
There was apparently a bit of a disturbance on one of the trains. Guy's getting a bit mouthy, so we're just going to meet the service in and we'll give him a talk to. Apparently doesn't have a ticket either.
The conductor has been threatened.
I asked him for a ticket, he refused to show me him.
Yep.
And he was shouting and swearing at me and told me I was an end and this, that and the next thing. Got it on the body camera and he's been abusive to other people since. So.
Go on. You, my friend, I'm going to caution. You're not obliged to anything in. You do say what we take there, what we use as evidence. Do you understand that?
For nearly 200 years, a dedicated police force has protected travellers on the railway. Today, the British Transport Police cover more than 3,000 stations across the UK.
I started in 1985 and I was based in Glasgow until about 1995. So within that 10-year period, I've seen quite a lot of action at Glasgow Central.
Bob has fond memories of his time served at Central Station.
This shop that you see just now used to be the old police office. Very compact and bijou little office, which is simply the front counter, had an area for changing in the back and also had a cell. Back in the 1980s, where the shops are just now, that used to be called the Carriage Drive. You would drive into the station from Hope Street, turn about on the Carriage Drive, and then you would exit the station by what is now the pedestrian exit. Our job, of course, was to make people feel safe. So that was constantly through patrolling the concourse itself, and also if someone was to report something to us, we would go and deal with it. But there was very much a community feel. We'd get to know not only the staff, some of the public, but basically get to know the station inside out.
British Transport Police, we only deal with the railway, and our main focus is getting people home safe and on time and keeping the railway running. I am the neighbourhood sergeant for Glasgow as a whole, based in here. Glasgow Central is busier than any other station I've ever worked in. It would be the main transport hub. The environment around the station is different and it's a lot busier with people going for nights out, big events. You've got a lot of homelessness, a lot of begging. This is the main kind of gathering area.
The area around Central is Sergeant McWhirter's patch, which includes under the railway bridge known as the Heilanman's umbrella.
The homeless situation's a lot worse now in Glasgow city centre. Pretty much every doorway and in every shop you'll see someone on a corner, and especially in the winter time. I know you've been here for a while, yeah.
Absolutely, for 23 years.
I think probably years ago we probably wouldn't have engaged as much as we do with the homelessness. We would just observed it and maybe not really done much to tackle it. I think the police in general now are trying to tackle it, but it's not something the police alone can fix. Well, you're obviously aware there's help out there for you instead of sleeping off. Those that are here, it's good to get them into better accommodation, but whilst there's so much that the police can do, it's for these individuals to engage with those services. The help is there. Obviously, if you're alcohol there, make sure to keep that away. Otherwise you'll end up being in a fixed bed for different fuel. Try and clear up after yourself. Golf 5-8, go ahead.
This part of Argyll Street, under the railway bridge, has long been a shelter for the people of Glasgow.
Being a young child, I can remember coming through here, and it was always raining everywhere else, and you come under the Heilanman's umbrella, nice and dry. Remembered my father carrying me in his arms and looking about and saying, what is this place? Because it was nice and dry and brightly lit. I think it's the darkness and the lights. Maybe it reminds me of a fun fair, I think, you know, a fun fair or something. I don't know.
Tattoo artist Lorraine runs her business under the Heilanman's umbrella.
My nickname is the Tattoo Ma. The younger tattoo artists, they're all usually like 30s or under 30s, so me being a lady of a certain age, they're a wee bit more intimidated. Tattooing when I first started in the 90s was a lot more edgier. It was more like kind of biker orientated, even sometimes kind of gang people. And now it's very much like, I would say, these kind of hipster type guys. So they're wearing like their nice wee dicky bows and things like that. And if bikers had seen them back at the conventions back in the day, they'd have been run out of town. This shop used to be a bar. I think it was called Bubbles. It used to be a bit of a cowboy joint. But I don't think this part of Glasgow's like that now at all. We're getting really nice shops and everything along here now, the Archies and different places like that. It's getting quite, what's the word, cultured.
We're in the newly opened Argyll Street Arches, which is inside the old Arches nightclub. I'm sure everybody will know.
A few doors down from Lorraine's tattoo shop is the old Arches nightclub, which closed in 2015 and was infamous with a generation of Glasgow clubbers. Now it's a street food market.
We're in between two platforms, and you can hear the trains pulling out. When the trains pull out, the lights dim slightly. It's very atmospheric when you get the lights right, and there's lots of people in it. It just feels amazing. There's rumours that there was Banksies in here.
Internationally acclaimed street artist Banksy painted some murals here in 2001, before he became famous.
There's not a complete single image on the face and on the monkey's legs and tutus, the areas that are exposed, you can see that the image lines up.
Technician Ross has made a version of the image and projected it onto the wall, where the rest of the piece lies hidden under a coat of paint.
It's a water-based paint on top of an oil-based spray. So they use certain solvents to peel off the water-based, and then they will re-pigment the stuff underneath to bring it out and make it brighter and better to see.
Yeah, I think the chimp's pretty cool. That's my favourite.
The chimp's quite iconic as a Banksy as well. I saw this for the first time last week. We'd obviously seen it and seen multiple photos, but actually seeing the scale of it in front of you is a totally different experience. I think it's a sin that it's not on show. I never remember this being here. I think it was probably always covered up by staging and decks, and in 2007, somebody, we think either Network Rail or the Arches nightclub, painted over it. And once this goes live, we are going to do more street art throughout the building with current and up-and-coming street artists from Scotland to give them a platform alongside an international piece, so that people come to see the international piece, but then also get to see some up-and-coming new stuff.
Across from the Arches is one of Glasgow's busiest establishments.
The whole day on a Saturday, basically ticks over from when we open the doors at 9 a.m. Shoppers or people coming from the station, or whenever there's a concert or something at the weekend. So I'm running up our...
For 3 generations, the Varese family have been feeding Glasgow's late-night travellers.
The main part of our trade will come from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m, incredibly. Well, my grandfather was from Italy in a town called Ciparana. They opened the first Blue Lagoon on Glasgow's Sucky Hall Street in 1975, so it was always fish and chips for us in our family, our history. It's always been that way. Thank you. He passed away in 2002 when I was 10 or 11, but he's still a major part of our business. We must have been about 6 or 7 in this shop, standing on a juice crate because it was too small to reach the pan. My dad used to always get me in on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I used to always want to fry. This shop itself's been here 38 years. I don't think there's any other business, around this area that's been here for that length of time. There was a lot of Italians that moved, from Italy to Scotland. Glasgow being the biggest city in Scotland, that was maybe the main attraction. With hindsight, it was, a great move.
The Saturday night shift has started.
Just had a report that there's a water leak at the Hopesy entrance, so I've just got down to investigate.
And shift manager Drew's first job is to deal with a problem.
This is the moment we all stand here and all look up and go, there it's there. Joe, going to get a couple of barriers down? It's quite a bad leak coming from, we reckon, for the central hotel area. Health and safety comes first. The slightest hazard, we're going to try and secure the area, make it safe. I think I was one of the duty managers in the hotels. How you doing, all right? I don't know what's above, do you know? It's a big station. There'll be pipe works, stone work, wood works from the days gone by. Probably pipes in the station that's been here since the station was built. They've been here longer than me, put it that way.
And here, guys, if you're going to command up, mate, down here, this gate's open. I worked in a call centre before this, but I applied for this, came in here, and I'm loving it so far. Just the 2 years. There you are. No bother. Get good nights and bad nights. But it's all right tonight. Off on 5. 2.5 hours to go. And there. Really professional. You have your hands behind your back, can't have them in your pockets, can't be slouched, can't be leaning in the gates. So you look approachable. All right?
Ticket just doesn't work anymore?
You can get it changed. People coming up without tickets, they'll say, can we get on the train? You can't let them through. You need to use your discretion. How are you doing? All right. If it's not the last train, obviously, we don't leave anybody stranded. When it's the last train, we have a wee bit of leeway. If you've got time to go and get it, go and get it.
Glengarnock, next train. Glengarnock.
Glengarnock?
Aye.
If they're too drunk to get through, they could be a danger to themselves. They could fall into a track, stuff like that. So, as long as nobody's injured.
Get the Glengarnock, aye?
Aye. Right up by back to the station, platform 15.
Platform
15, aye. We've got a duty of care, to an extent.
Busy, very, very busy. Coming back the way from the concert, that I believe the whole level station have been particularly busy as well.
Along with the usual Saturday night revellers, crowds of music fans from the Transmit Festival have descended on the station.
I've got some later trains going off here tonight, which we don't normally have.
Saturday into Sunday, so pretty hopeful that we should be able to clear and get everybody home is the plan.
One at a time. Here's your ticket.
My fear is I'm going to get 10,000 Liam Gallagher's come back off Glasgow Green.
Don't take against me, hurt yourself. We're from Greenock. My name's Tracy.
My name's Ross.
Where are you going to, girls? Yes, that one.
We've actually been out for the Greenock Fair.
Where are you going to? Here. Here's that side of the station up there, okay?
You ought to come and visit someday. Young Gibby.
Welcome to Glasgow Central of a PE evening.
Drew is back on the concourse, helping passengers find their way home.
I don't know how to go home. I spend £50 a month on a train ticket.
There's engineering works on today, so if you go up, there's a replacement bus service that take you to Rutherglen.
I had to go home.
Do you want me to walk you up to the bus? Are you just yourself?
Aye.
Hey, where'll I help you down the stair?
On nights like these, keeping passengers safe is the priority.
It's nice to see some of my colleagues at British Transport Police out in force tonight. It makes our customers feel safe and secure as well.
You can come with us more often, by you.
Yeah. Saturday night.
Yes, buddy, over here. Yes. Give me space. You need to buy a ticket before you go, sir.
With the station so busy, passengers without tickets face a long wait at the ticket machines.
Bought me ticket, but the queue's massive, so it's not letting me collect it.
If you nip down the ticket office, they might be able to release it for you.
But the problem is there's a queue like an executioner, and we can't get tickets.
There's a booking office down the stairs that have less of a queue on it.
But the train is there.
Yeah, I understand that. We still need to have a ticket.
So you don't actually care?
No, I do care, but you need to have a ticket.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
Get me on TV!
This is the last, the bit of rush for the last couple of trains. But there's no train yet, so we don't know where the train is. But as you can see with the ticket gates, it's looking quite interesting. So, as soon as this train gets boarded for 23.58, they'll come screaming through here.
It's not safe to let the crowd onto the platform until their train arrives, but they're getting restless.
Just climbed the gate, 102 t-shirt. You jumped out of the gates.
What?
These two just jumped. You get back through, mate. Go back through, where you can. Back in. Buddy, excuse me. Get back up through the gate, back in. Come on. Now, good. Welcome to my world.
I know.
There is a risk we'll be making enough room in the train. It's a 6-car, potentially 600, but there's maybe a few more there. Right, guys, take your time. Thank you. Through as quick as you can. Way through, please. Keep moving through the gate. Keep coming through. Keep going out the front. More room at the front, train. Train's about to go. Hurry up. Hurry up now, guys. This is. Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
Oh.
Everybody's singing it now. There's Sean the piano up. Did you not like that?
The circle of life of Glasgow Central Station. Everybody comes to Glasgow Central. Doesn't matter whether it's for maybe a baby wanting to be born, a pregnant lady, somebody no well, somebody drunk and incapable lying in Sauchiehall Street. They all come down to Glasgow Central Station.
Just looking there, I was just looking, there's 3 or 4 boys, I think they're having a game of cricket on the concourse, I think.
I've met them all, from down and outs to the working class people to the businessmen. They all come into Glasgow Central. We're the hub of Glasgow. I met my wife within Glasgow Central. My wife used to work, Margaret used to work in Bow Bangles, which was a unit just up in the concourse there. And my first date actually was under the main clock at Glasgow Central.
I've always been a station man, and then to me, this is the #1 station. The amount of people that come into Glasgow and say, what a beautiful station, well, they're right.
As it's going round and round, I'm only a common old working lad, as anyone can see. When I get a couple of drinks on a Saturday, Glasgow belongs to me. Yes, Glasgow belongs to me.